Very good evening to everyone. I am Tushali Dodia, and on the first day of the presentation, semester 4, on contemporary English studies, literature, I am going to make my presentation on real life Raghavs, exploring the past, present, and future of journalism in India. Uh, uh, Before begin, these are the questions that I'm going to address in this presentation. First one is, how does Chetan Bhagat's novel relate to contemporary societal issues? That is within the context of journalism in India. Second one is, which journalist or YouTuber resonate with the revolutionary themes depicted in the journey of Raghav in the novel? How does the history of journalism intersect with its current landscape? And the last one is the future consideration of the independence journalism in India. These are the points. The novel Revolution 2020, written by an Indian author, novelist Chetan Bhagat, falls under the genre of popular fiction. It has three major characters, Gopal, Raghav and Aarti, and there are three themes: love, corruption and revolution. Each character is connected with each theme. So Raghav is connected with the theme of revolution. Though the title lies in and around the theme of revolution, we somewhat feel that love and corruption overlaps the theme of revolution in this way. Before we directly plunge into the revolutionary journalistic aspects in the novel and its considerations, let's first understand what are the basic functions of journalism that should prevail. And India is a democratic country, so there are four major pillars, and media is one of them. One of the four pillars of the democracy. Reema Rai, in her article, The Role of Media in Democracy, Indian Democracy, she depicts three key ways in terms to promote democracy in India. First one is fostering public debate and political engagement. Second is redistributing power and political influence. Third one is providing a mechanism through which democracy can operate. Moreover, media is a connecting link between the ruling power and people, government and people. It also tries to ensure the citizen and lets them to understand the information, misinformation, ignorance, and fact-checking things. Shirai says that the media also exposes loopholes in democratic system, which ultimately helps government in filling the vacuum of loopholes and making a system more accountable, responsive, and citizen-friendly. So, by this, the argument of Reema Rai, it's clear that the major role of journalism is to bring the news, real news, to the people. Now, let us get to the theme of revolution. What is the revolution and why does it take place in the novel? So Raghav wants to bring revolution in this novel till 2020. Bhagat in the novel says that in the blurb, one wanted to use his intelligence to start a revolution. What sort of intelligence is having, and why he is how he is wanting to use a kind of intelligence in terms of the bringing the revolution. It tries to address issues such as corruption, as Raghav tries to bring news of corruption and other evils going on in the society. He begins this newspaper named Revolution 2020 that has a very good background, that is a very revolutionary as well. Now, Raghav and his revolution and journalism. From the initial point of the novel, whenever this Raghav is portrayed in the novel, he is shown that he wanted to be a journalist and he wants to change the system of corruption and the democratic ways. Despite of his admission in this engineering colleges, he tries to work in these journalistic things. He also took admission in the college where the course of journalism was going on, along with this engineering kind of thing. Then, in the later part of his life, he joined this Dainik News, and he wrote about Ganga Tech College that is owned by Gopal under the care of Mr. Shukla, MLA. And upon this news, he got fired from the job at Dainik newspaper. And after that, after getting fired from the job, he began his own newspaper named Revolution 2020. But later on in the novel, it was his small newsroom was also attacked by people of Shuklaji and his friend Gopal himself. These are some of the dialogues that is in the novel that we will try to look parallelly while looking at the Indian journalistic and Indian journalism parallelly. So Raghav, as he says, he loves journalism, and that's what he mean to do. He want to change things. He also joined university politics. These are the quotes. It is also mentioned that Raghav is told by his friend Gopal that I told you not to write shit about us, and this is why you are getting this sort of problems. But Raghav is the one who is not getting discouraged by it. But though he had to suffer a lot, he had to face financial scarcity and all the things. Now, to understand the journalism in India, it should get traced from its beginning, because what was the aspects that were in the beginning of the Indian journalism, and what sort of things that are prevailing in today's society that should look parallelly. And there are certain similar patterns can be found. Only the ruling parties and power has a bit changed. So media came into existence in 1970 with this Bengal Gazette under the British rule. Ramananda Chatterjee, in one of his articles, says that during the British rule, people who were against this British policies, they used to write their things. They established their own newspapers and periodicals, but it was considered evil by this British rule. So this can be looked parallel while we are observing and interrogating the journalism in India in today's time. India is a democratic country, as I have mentioned. So there is a freedom of media. Though there are not certain kind of reference to the freedom of press given by the Constitution of India, like in USA, but under the Article 9(1)(a) and Article 9(2), it is mentioned about the freedom of speech and expression, and the freedom of press falls under that. Now, it is important to think about the role of mainstream media, what they are telling, what they are doing, and all the things. According to P. and Malhan, he says that democratic society needs a clear and truthful account of events, of their background and their causes, a forum for discussion and informed criticism, and a means of where the individual and groups can express a point of view or advocate a cause. It is not in the interest of the party in power to curb the freedom of the press, for it is a dangerous game and they themselves may have to pay heavily for it. Without a free press, democracy in India will be a lame one. So, freedom of press, and along with that, media should be media should have given the correct information to the people about their ruling party. And here in India, there are somewhat a failure of mainstream media, as Sharma tries to explore. So, due to the fall of this mainstream media, then emerges the real life Raghavs in Indian journalism. Chetan Bhagat have rightly observed some of the points that remains relevant in today's time as well. So there is a Raghav-like situation of all the journalists who tries to raise voice against wrong and passionately talk about such issues. They talk about the issues that are not talked by or not addressed by the mainstream media that are very necessary to stabilize the democratic system in India. they are fired from their job like Raghav. Their life is in danger where they can get like arrested by, or they can get fired by the job, and they can be attacked by people for their doing a real journalism. And now they began their independent news channels, and thanks to YouTube and other social media platforms on there have started giving news. They are alleged for the false cases for the exposure of several big firms is corruption. This all the aspects that we see parallelly in the present time, all the things can be seen. I have taken up five independent journalists, YouTubers. They have began or started their YouTube channel, and through which they have tried to give news to the people. One of them is not a journalist, but he he's an YouTube content creator. But his videos are very much well researched, and information is very good as well. Now, Ravish Kumar, who is a renowned Indian journalist who worked in this NDTV India, during his work at NDTV as well, he got death threats just because of his spreading the news of news related to truths and speaking against the big firms. He resigns after Adani take over this news channel, which he thinks that he is citing free press concerns, and he began his own YouTube channel. The documentary, while we watched, is based on his life and how he faced each and every obstacles in his journey of journalism. Banerjee, who like Akash Banerjee, Ravish Kumar, both are not fired from their job, but they have like resigned from their job at news channels. Akash Banerjee also resigned from this journalistic channel Times Now due to this concerns of free press concerns. He began his news channel named YouTube channel the Desh Bhakta. Desh Bhakta that talks about the things, which is a very like ironical term. He is telling himself that Desh Bhakt, and on the contrary, he is giving statements against government, but that are the main things that should be needed in the democratic India. Deepak Sharma is also an investigative journalist, and he faced some censorship, and he began his news this YouTube channel. Abhisar Sharma was working in this ABP News, and he was fired from his job at on like just because of his coverage on BJP government on PM's address to businessmen in India. Some reasons, and after that he began his own YouTube channel. Dhruv Rai is not a journalist, as I just mentioned, but he's a powerful content creator. His videos on political aspects that involves fact checking and explanatory content and addressing various significant events. There are some independent media firms that depends on the subscription, and they are not taking anything from these big firms or like private things. And news laundry and scrolling both are relying on their subscription, and they try to bring news that are not brought in attention by the mainstream media over the country. This Lallandop is not the same in the case of subscription. They are running ads from private corporative things, but they also provide a very good information about the information in the country. And these news laundry and scrolling, they begin by the journalists who were before that like working in some news channels, and then they got together and tried to put their efforts in making a good journalistic content. Now, when we are talking about this YouTube, so there is a slight difference between journalist and content creator. Nowadays, we have each have the access of this YouTube channel. everyone can share the information. Like people, there are lots of YouTube channels available that talks about that, but that is misinformation spread by those content creators as well. So that is a concern as well. So it remains on the side of citizen many a time that to think what is right and what is wrong. Saurabh Sharma notes that Indian journalists say the platform is more democratic and uncensored place to work. But is the growing trend of YouTubers calling themselves journalists a cause for concern? There are concerns and things related to all the things. In the recently in 2023, this telecommunication bill passed in the Parliament of India. Under that, various things are there, but one point shall be noted is that government can shut down telecommunication anytime, like while this Manipur fire and riots. So there was a complete internet shutdown. This debate was took under this news laundry, and they talked very in a detail about this telecommunication bill and broadcasting bill. Broadcasting bill was just is not still not passed in the parliament, but if it will pass, then that will be a threat on YouTuber and individual journalists as well. As one of the major point is that government can raid and seize equipments from journalists, independent journalists. So that remains a concern for YouTube journalism in this field. While concerning about the future of independent journalism, this YouTube channel is the last hope for this unbiased news in this election or whatever thing it is. YouTube is a viable option for journalists in India from where they can share the right information to the people. Independent journalists lack financial security. As Raghav was attacked by Gopal and the people of Shuklaji, and his all the equipments were broken from that, and he had to took a job at the at his previous place, Dainik Bhaskar. But here, what is different is that in Raghav's case, his friend is the one who is telling something to the news channel, and he is telling them to take him back when he's not getting job, though it is not known to Raghav. But this Raghav goes back to the firm he has left, and when it comes to the real life in real situation in India, it is when a person is fired from the job, even if only if the person is agreed to the terms and condition of the media firms, then only then that person can work for that firm. So there is some intricacies related to this issues of rejoining and things. So this rejoining was the cause of his financial breakdown and scarcity. Independent journalists lack financial security, legal protection without institutions. Government raids any time there, so there is a fear of raids, arrest. So many journalists have arrested by this government things, and misuse of copyright claims and IP laws to censor online speech. There is a self-censorship, shoestring budgets, online threats, repressive environment for truth-telling, concern over suffocation of Indian journalism, undermining Indian democracy. So, there are in the ending of this novel, it is at the ending part of the novel, Raghav says that when Gopal asked him about his ways about journalism, he says that someone has to do it, Gopal. How will all the things change? We all have to do our bit. For change, we need a revolution. A real revolution can only happen when people ask themselves, what is my sacrifice? So, what only hope that journalists, independent journalists, have right now is that we can contribute a bit in like the channels of news laundry and YouTube channel of Ravish Kumar and all the people I have mentioned. While watching their videos, it seems clear that they often address that we will try to make people aware about the things that are going on in our country. So we will not stop here. And there is one quote as well. Uh, that tells that they will not cease the work they are doing. So it is like when thing comes about this when thing comes about the sort of journalism, the concern of YouTube journalism and content creation, it remains also in the side of the people, citizen, to understand and to know that we should not solely depend on what has been told to us, but rather we have to check facts and something true about the thing. So individual responsibility is there as well. So I want to end my presentation with this quote. I'll find a job, Gopal, and tell that MLA of yours, just because he could get a training file from Dainik doesn't mean he can silence the truth. So all the real life Raghavs in India tries to going against the odd of themselves. So they try to bring the truth. Even if they are fired from their jobs, even if they are ransacked, even if they are threatened by the government. So that it says that someone has to do it, and we all have to do our bit for change. We need a revolution. So in this real life Raghavs in India, they contribute in the journalism of India a lot, but though they are remained marginalized just because of this mainstream media talking all the time about the current government. So it is not about the role of media is not about talking about goody goody and sweetie sweetie things about whatever going on, but rather they have to find the loopholes that can disrupt the democratic system within the country. So this is all about my presentation. These are the references. Thank you so much. Now I'm open for questions.
Tushali, what significant events or changes in Indian society have influenced the trajectory of journalism in the country and in Revolution 2020?
See, I have traced the journey of journalism in India. When it was under this British rule, people tried to establish their own newspapers. Why? Because people were feeling underprivileged. They are not treated well by the government that time, not government by but the British rule that time. So they began this journal. They established their own newspapers and magazines. Now, in a recent time, when we have freedom of speech, we have everything. But what the mainstream journalism is doing and what is the situation of this independent journalism, it remains the same. Because though we have this freedom of speech and freedom of press in India, still this independent journalists make us aware that there should some questions against government as well, and that is the basic thing about the democratic system. Same happens in the Revolution 2020. Raghav tries to bring this Ganga Tech college for corruption things, and before that he tries to think and try to write about this Ganga action plan. And just because of his exposure of some corruption going on and going within the country, he is getting fired from his job. He is ransacked by people against whom he has written something. So the same thing is happening. So many journalists nowadays are getting arrested. Their houses and their media houses are raided by people, and all these independent journalists have very small setup studios, and even that they are spoiling. So there remains a concern over this, that how this trajectory. There are future consideration. If this broadcasting bill will come, the independent journalism will like get complete destructions. So there will not remain any sort of journalistic, good journalistic, true journalistic ways. So this is all.
Trishali, how can we prepare youth to access accurate news in contemporary times, and how can we teach them about proper journalism?
Yes. See, youth, as we all are student of literature, we are studying this novel, Revolution 2020. By that, we have gained this insight that there is something going wrong within the country. And we are addressing this issue right now by talking about the aspect of the novel. Uh, it is I will not say it is impossible because nothing is impossible. There are people who are trying to make youth aware about the accuracy and accurate access of news in contemporary times, like all these independent media channels and YouTubers. What remains our responsibility is that we just need to check the thing. We need to tell youth that just go for fact checking each and every time, because this is we are living in the post-truth era. Even journalists from whom we expect the good and true information, they are spreading the false news about certain things. They are much dependent on this fake news. If you have seen this chatty many of the TV news channels, they are just copy pasting the content of any government ad or any other thing, and they are not going for just a bit of fact checking at that time. So checking facts is the first step to make youth aware about the journalism, about proper journalism. So this remains a concern. So it is our responsibility to guide people. Without that, this huge firm has accessed most of the attention of people, in which it is very terrifying as well. So this is my answer. Thank you so much.